So a lot of buzz, lot of meetings in the action that has once again shifted from Bengaluru to the national capital as Siddaramaiah was there. And what is being said, that series of meetings that has happened with Rahul Gandhi, with Mallikarjun Kharge, with other party leaders as well, like K.C. Venugopal and others. K.J. George was also said to be present. And now it seems D.K. Shivkumar has been holding his round of meetings with the party high command, with the party leaders as well, to chalk out when it comes to the said timeline of his, possible swearing in that is likely to happen on the 3rd of June. So let's get you as far as this exclusive conversation is concerned. In a breaking update, what we are now learning, D.K. Shivkumar exclusively speaks to Times Now, and he breaks down exactly when it comes to the details of what's going to happen next. Of course, there is no official confirmation or when it comes to a statement that is coming from the Congress party yet. But this itself seems to be a big development, because DK says that nothing has been decided yet, or has confirmed that a crucial Congress CLP, which is the Congress Legislative Party meeting, that is going to happen tomorrow, where all of the MLAs are expected to be present, and they would be in Bengaluru. And his remarks neither has also fueled a lot of suspense of Karnataka's leadership transition, even as he has refrained from making any definitive statement on the chief ministerial question. So that seems to be, when it comes to this exclusive conversation that we're going to play out for our viewers, but this seems to be, several of the meetings that have happened since morning, when Siddaramaiah, whose resignation has now been accepted by the governor formally, he's been meeting the top leaders of the Congress party. First, at 10 Janpath, meeting Rahul Gandhi, then Mallikarjun Kharge as well. K.C. Venugopal, K.J. George was also there, said to be present, and he was accompanied by his son Yatindra. All of this that seems to be happening, as far as reports still suggest that Siddaramaiah is not willing to actually shift to national politics. But as far as who's going to replace him, that is the elevation of D.K. Shivkumar. And here is the exclusive roundup of that conversation that we had with the to-be Chief Minister of Karnataka.
What is when the induction is happening, sir?
CLP meeting will be done on the alignment of the High Command. Now the High Command comes back. Tomorrow we have decided to do the CLP meeting, but I think we have to, because our central leaders have to come. So we'll ask our party High Command the timing, and then we will fix up the time. We have asked only MLAs to be present in time. Apart from that, nothing is there.
So you saw he's not giving away much. He's not talking or giving out any information exactly what's to happen next. But as far as his round of meetings that are also concerned with the party leadership, that seems to be underway in the national capital. Let's connect with Neha and also with Nyamika, who have been tracking the developments both from Bengaluru to Delhi. So, that is the importance, Neha, that we're getting to know. The meetings that have happened, the pictures that are coming in, the optics that seems to be playing. But what happens next over the weekend especially, that is something which D.K. Shivkumar in this exclusive conversation has not given out much. So what are we hearing from your sources?
Well, of course, it remains to be seen right now as the guessing here continues. What, of course, we do gather naturally is that the discussions that were held there would have obviously discussed when the CLP meeting is to be held. Of course, on his part, Siddaramaiah there seen congratulating, in fact, D.K. Shivkumar, and also conveying his gratitude now to all of the other leaders from the Congress High Command. Of course, more importantly, as far as D.K. Shivkumar there is concerned, he's probably held discussions now on the lines of, as far as the cabinet is concerned, the CLP, the oath-taking ceremony, all of these discussions there that were held. It really, of course, remains to be seen, a big question on the minds of many right now about how many deputy chief ministers is D.K. Shivkumar really going to have in his cabinet.
Well, that again, clarity would be, under much needed clarity is, required at this point in time, because as far as these back-to-back meetings that has been taking place in Delhi, what is being said that, the timeline is now being chalked out. as far as the elevation of DK Shivkumar as Chief Minister is concerned, but who will be the new probables? Because this is something which has also not been ruled out, that not just DK Shivkumar but 10 other ministers would be taking oath alongside him. And the inside details of what we are now picking up through information coming in, that Siddaramaiah and Rahul Gandhi, who held this meeting earlier this morning at 10 Janpad, and Rahul Gandhi, who praised Siddaramaiah once again for his contribution to the Karnataka Congress. And again, you know, Neha, this offer has come again from Rahul Gandhi to Siddaramaiah that why don't you join national politics? We need you here. You're a veteran Congress party leader. Why not join the national politics?
Well, absolutely. Of course, you know, that's one proposal, in fact, you know, that the High Command had made to Chief Minister Siddaramaiah, given that, you know, having been at the helm of affairs for nearly 8 years now, having run the state administration on his accord and on, of course, you know, his capabilities, the Congress High Command at this point would not like to upset him. Remember, of course, you know, what's even more important right now is how the party would handle this entire situation very gracefully here, ensuring that Siddaramaiah is not upset. He's always been someone who's worked for state politics in order to ensure the upliftment of all of the communities, in order to ensure that Karnataka as a state, you know, is brought up and the best interests of the state are taken care of. So now to suddenly or drastically make that shift, of course, you know, for him is something that he denied. We've spoken to a few of his loyalists, we've spoken to a few ministers who were on his cabinet, many of who echoed a similar sentiment that, you know, probably he should now be given a larger role. As far as that goes, we'll really have to wait and see. While he's denied it, whether he changes his mind or not is something that we'd find out in the coming days.
All right, that is something which is yet to be known as far as Siddaramaiah is concerned. He doesn't seem to be very keen when it comes to national politics. He says that he's been chosen by the people of Karnataka. 3 years that he has served as the Chief Minister in the current dispensation, and the remaining 2 years he still wants to be active in politics as far as in Karnataka just is concerned. But speaking of DK Shivkumar, we have another big breaking update coming in. And amidst this political churn in Karnataka, DK Shivkumar is said to have held a crucial meeting with the Congress chief Mallikarjun Kharge in Delhi that has been fueling a lot of speculation over an imminent leadership transition in the state. So the sources have been indicating that DK Shivkumar sought for Mallikarjun Kharge's blessings as discussion over Karnataka's next political course. Political course is something which has now been also gathering pace. So the high-level huddle that has now added to the buzz that the stage may be getting set for a DKS-led state of Karnataka, though the Congress leadership so far has remained pretty much guarded against making any formal announcement. So that seems to be the very situation. What we are now learning as far as DK Shivkumar is also not giving out much the details that the CLP is set to happen tomorrow. All of the MLAs have also been summoned to Bengaluru, and thereafter it would be decided that possibly it is being said the 3rd of June when the oath-taking ceremony that would be taking place. However, when it comes to the challenges that still lie ahead in the remaining 2 Congress Sarkara's term in Karnataka is concerned, now one of them is said to be balancing the caste equation. So will that be now reflected in the new cabinet of DK Shivkumar? It seems that kind of an advice has also come in from the party chief Mallikarjun Kharge. Of course, when it comes to cabinet berths, Rahul Gandhi seems to be more in favor of younger faces, new faces, fresh minds to actually come up and take up positions there. And also when it comes to curtailing rebellion, in the long run, that seems to be a challenge for DK Shivkumar, because Siddaramaiah is still going to be there and he's going to be watching. Now, meanwhile, if, all of these developments that has been taking place, DK Shivkumar, the meeting that has been happening, both of them also met here in Delhi. As far as DK Shivkumar and Siddaramaiah is also concerned, pictures that are also coming in. There seems to be a lunch meeting that has also happened of all of these leaders there. So the power play that continues. There on your screens, you can see that meeting, the inside pictures that have now come in of DK Shivkumar and Siddaramaiah and the Delhi huddle there. And we saw that playing out yesterday. It was quite emotional scenes as far as both of them hugging DK Shivkumar, touching Siddaramaya's feet. And however, this is now playing out over lunch meetings. Yes, breakfast meeting is something that we have heard often. But now we are looking at lunch meetings that seems to be taking place. And apparently the role of KJ George, Nyamika, seems to have gained a lot of momentum. So what exactly is the role that has been played by KJ George to actually make sure that there is a smooth transition of power that happens in Karnataka?
Well, Amita, firstly, I would like to ask Mr. Salim Ahmed, who is a Karnataka MLC and is very senior leader, as he is joining us right now. Sir, firstly, your own opinion, the way in which this entire transition has taken place. There is a completely generational change which can be seen there after, Siddaramaiah being the chief minister twice, and now he has resigned from that particular position. Mr. DK Shivkumar is going to be the next chief minister. How do you see this entire matter, this kind of, things taking place in the state of Karnataka?
So this is what Congress is. Congress is the most disciplined party, and we have a high command here. The decision of the high command is final. From last 6 months, Mr. Siddaramaiah has been telling to the media also that whenever party high commands give some directions, I will follow it. From last 6 months, when he met the Congress President Rahul Ji, and they told him that a discussion took place. After the High Command told him, within 24 hours he resigned. And he thanked that I was given opportunity to work as a chief minister for 8 years. Twice I was the leader of the opposition. Sonia Ji came to Bangalore when I joined the party. And this is what is Congress party. The BJP used to say this party going to break, so blah, 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 all these things. And this is what we have seen today. Yesterday we all went to Raj Bhavan, along with Chief Minister and KP Shivkumar ji, everyone. From there we had a press conference. So this smooth transfer of power only can happen on Congress party. So this is not the message the whole of the country. And Siddaramaiah ji such gracefully resigned on the instructions of the party high command. It itself is a big message. Not like Bharatiya Janata Party. It's where only decision of Mr. Narendra Modi, nothing but Hitler what we can say. Nobody can speak to him. But in democracy, Congress party...
All right, Nyamika, continue with that conversation there. Of course, comparisons are now being drawn as far as how power transitions happen within the Congress party. And they now seem to be talking about that this is a very graceful exit on part of Siddaramaiah, being such a senior and a veteran leader, that he's now given way for his deputy to take over his position as the chief minister is concerned. But other reactions that have been coming in, because it took the Congress party several hours, that marathon meeting, the manthan that seems to have been happening, to reach out to both sides, because earlier it was being said that the party is reluctant, it is hesitant. Looking at the upcoming, when it comes to the Rajya Sabha elections and the MLC polls are concerned, the Congress party, according to reports suggesting, was not very willing to take this risk as the change of the chief minister in the middle of the tenure.
सिद्धरामैया जी, DK शिवकुमार जी दिल्ली आ रहा है, आपके साथ उसका बातचीत करेंगे। इसके बाद जो भी उनका उधर निर्णय होगा वो मानेंगे, देख लेंगे क्या होता है। पता नहीं, अभी सीएम सब आ रहे हैं वापस, आने के बाद उनके साथ चर्चा करेंगे क्या दिल्ली में बात हुआ है सोनिया जी और राहुल जी से, किसी से, तो उसके बाद निर्णय ले लेंगे। कल से मंडे हो जाएंगे, मंडे तक तो शायद हो जाएंगे।
ओथ टेकिंग का कुछ है सर, कुछ क्लैरिटी है डेट का?
हाँ, शायद मंडे हो जाएंगे, मंडे तक को।
Siddaramaiah served very well as a chief minister. For 8 years he was continuously as a chair. That Congress has given him the opportunity. Earlier 2 terms he served as an opposition leader. Change of guard was decided when he took over for the second time as a chief minister. Then for 2.5 years. But even then, he was allowed to continue for a couple of months more. He knew that change was coming. The transition is also smooth. That means another 2 years, there will be a very smooth government. And after all, it is only the legacy. Congress legacy will continue.
So you heard the kind of reactions that has been coming in from the Congress party. They have been congratulating in this way that this smooth and peaceful transition and this transfer of power that has happened in the middle of the tenure. Meanwhile, as far as Siddaramaiah is concerned, this breaking update coming in that he will be departing for Bengaluru at about 3 in this afternoon. So series of meetings that we have seen that has been taking place. Of course, Siddaramaiah, after tendering his resignation, had departed for Delhi last evening, where he was supposed to meet Rahul Gandhi. The meeting that has happened this morning, but because of bad weather and turbulence, the meeting got delayed to this morning. And he met Rahul Gandhi, he met Mallikarjun Kharge. Then we saw that power lunch that is happening. DK Shivkumar can be also seen along with him. And now Siddaramaiah, as a former chief minister, or till the time as a caretaker, till the time that a new chief minister is sworn in, Neha, he now is expected to depart for Bengaluru. It seems that, next, the transition that will now come into force. As far as the CLP meeting is concerned, the new cabinet position. So here, however, it is not just limited as far as Siddaramaiah's role is concerned, because he still is going to play a very active role in politics.
Sorry.
Neha.
Yes, that's right. Of course, the chief minister there, even as he said that, he would, of course, be stepping away from the Delhi route, something that was offered to him by the High Command. Remember, largely he says that the reason for this being that he's someone who's always been very active in state politics. He's been one of the tallest OBC leaders that Karnataka has seen. Of course, also viewed as one of the mass leaders over here, that probably something that many, in fact, couldn't really have pulled off. And now, even as we talk about what next for him, it's quite evident that, he is someone who wants to continue to stick on to state politics. While speaking with one of his loyalists, Madhu Bangarappa, who was the education minister on his cabinet, he said that it now seems that Siddaramaiah would be taking up a father figure role for state politics here, hand-holding and guiding many of the new faces that would be coming in, and also, of course, acting as a father figure to the deputy
so that is something as far as, the next role, the new role that Siddaramaiah would be undertaking now. Of course, when it comes to the incoming of the new government that would be in power, of course, that would remain of the Congress, but it will be the new leadership change that has now happened. Thank you very much, Neha and Nyamika. Those are the developments that we are picking up on this story. Let's, in the meantime, shift focus this afternoon and talk about what's happening with the NTA, the National Testing Agency, which has been under fire ever since the NEET UG 2026 examination that was held on the 3rd of May was suspended. New dates that has been announced, that is on the 21st of June. There is still 3 weeks to go when the retest will happen. But as far as the matter is something which has now been taken up with the Supreme Court, where we are expecting that the top court will be taking up the hearing very, very soon. But NTA on its part, Harish, has also filed a certain affidavit, and that is also something we have accessed. So what is that NTA on the part of the agency is praying before the Supreme Court?
Yes, that's right, Amita. In a very short time, in around 15 minutes, the Supreme Court will hear the petition filed by All India Medical Association and United Doctors Front, alleging systemic failures within NTA and seeking the establishment of an alternate independent body to conduct the examination. We have accessed the NTA's affidavit. NTA tells Supreme Court that to look towards the future, we will ensure that the re-examination is conducted in a safe, secure and smooth manner. And NTA tells Supreme Court that the re-exam on June 21 will be held under a further strengthened security framework after the May 3 exam was cancelled over alleged malpractice. And let me, for the benefit of a viewer, read out some part of the affidavit. NTA says it humbly places on record its profound commitment to uphold the integrity, transparency, fairness and credibility of every examination entrusted to it in future. NTA has acted in coordination with the Ministry of Education, Government of India, and has implemented on a continuous and time-bound basis the structural, technological, procedural and human resource reforms recommended by Radhakrishnan Commission. NTA has at all material times acted in good faith with due diligence and in accordance with law to safeguard the integrity of national examination system and interest of very large majority of bona fide aspirants whose efforts and integrity is not in question and will not be devalued.
But we'll have to wait and watch whether
Yes.
the Supreme Court blindly accepts this affidavit or asks pointed questions to the NTA, because remember, Amita, on the last date, while seeking the response of NTA,
Yes.
the Supreme Court has said that NTA has not learned any lessons from the past, need paper leaks, and is repeating the same mistakes.
Yes.
The bench had questioned
So
why
this
the
is the prayer
NTA
that the
failed to
NTA has
establish a
kept forth before
foolproof
the
and
Supreme Court, the
tamper-free
matter that
examination.
is expected to be taken up shortly. And as far as the NTA is concerned, the National Testing Agency has been under a lot of fire as far as its incompetency is concerned, which is now being questioned over the conduction of transparent and, when it comes to the examination is concerned. Let's in the meantime also talk about what has now been done, or rather, considered or mulled over by the government of what could be the possibly, the next step, so that it can ensure that there is a secure way of the examinations that would be held of the NEET UG, the re-examination rather, on the upcoming date of 21st of June. Now what is being said that the government is not ruling out of, deployment of the Army or the Indian Air Force here in this case is also concerned. And we have Sagrika, who will be joining us here on the broadcast to actually get us and, explain the government's point of view. Sagrika, we've seen the reactions that has been coming in, both from the government and from the opposition side. Opposition says that why not, then if you want to have to call the Army or the Indian Air Force, that means that the government is admitting that it is at fault.
Yeah, so we've seen the reactions that have come in, Amita, but the larger question, just think about it. Have you ever heard this, that the Air Force has to be roped in to secure examination papers? So think about the message that goes out. We are talking about a large-scale military operation possibly to secure exam papers. So the opposition today is saying, does this mean that this is a big admission of government failure? There is a lot of criticism coming in from the opposition, and there are veterans too. Veterans are now pointing out, Amita, that why the Air Force, the Indian Army and the armed forces are needed at the borders, are needed for military operations. Why are you using the forces for some kind of optics to save your image possibly? That is the voice coming in from a lot of people, like especially veterans from the community of veterans in the armed forces. But there's a divide, a huge divide. When you seek a response from the BJP, there are voices who are saying that we will do what is needed to ensure utmost security. So yes, there's a sharp divide, but there have been a lot of critical views on this decision that is being now mulled up.
We have seen, Sagrika, that when, there are issues that happen as far as natural calamity or something, we've seen that the Army has been roped in.
Yes.
Now, is it for the rescue of the students that the Army and the Indian Air Force is now being brought in so that to, secure the re-examination of the NEET UG? And does it mean that what happens in the future, if they are going to go, digitize as far as the examination papers is concerned, can they still confirm that there will be no leaks that may happen in the coming days? Let's, in the meantime, thank you very much, Sagrika, for that update. Listening to other reactions that have been coming in, as Sagrika said, the opposition is taking on the government and clearly so saying that, if you want to really call in the Indian Army and the Air Force, then why not also call in NASA and ISRO if you really want to hold examinations in a transparent manner?
अब आज की डेट में धर्मेंद्र प्रधान हो, नरेंद्र मोदी जी हो, वायुसेना की मदद ले लें, ब्रह्मोस मिसाइल लगा दें, क्या हर परीक्षा सेंटर पर ये लोग तोपें भी लगा दें? लेकिन परीक्षा लीक तो हो चुकी है ना। अब जिस तरीके की जो जुमलेबाजी की जा रही है, बयानबाजी की जा रही है, इसमें हंसी के सिवाय और कुछ नहीं आता, और करुणामयी हंसी आती है क्योंकि बच्चों का भविष्य बर्बाद हो रहा है। और भारतीय जनता पार्टी लोगों को भरमाने के लिए कभी वायुसेना के इस्तेमाल की बात कर रही, कभी ब्रह्मोस के इस्तेमाल की बात कर रही।
So you heard the opposition side, they have been saying that bachcho ka bhavishya is at stake, their future is at stake. But what has been the response that has now come in from the BJP side as to why it is now necessary to secure and to give out an image that there would be free and fair and also transparent examination that would be taking place? Listen into their side too.
All the considerations is being considered. PMO is directly monitoring. We'll do the best possible thing, best available resources available to us. And people should not question our intent. The intent is very clear that there should be fair examination for the student, because this comprises future of 22 lakh students which cannot be jeopardized at any cost.
So that's the big story on Times Now. We are tracking, and of course, the updates that are awaited to come in from the Supreme Court on the NTA hearing. In the meantime, we head into a very short break. Back with more.